Charlie Kirk's killer face the death penalty? Charlie Kirk's assassination took place in Utah, which is a state that still imposes the death penalty. The killer still has not been formally charged, but if Utah prosecutors can show the existence of certain statutory aggravating factors, then they can pursue death. In fact, Utah public officials have already come out and publicly stated that they would support the pursuit of the death penalty. Now, I went ahead and pulled the Utah statute on aggravating factors, and to be clear, I'm licensed to practice in South Carolina. I am not licensed to practice in Utah, but I read those aggravating factors, and without knowing the killer's prior record, if he has any, there may be a way for Utah prosecutors to notice this case for death, including the creation of a risk of death to other people, or by saying that all of the other people that were around could have been harmed as a result of the conduct. I think we all know the argument against that this was a very targeted killing, but it's nevertheless an applicable or arguably applicable aggravating factor here. So what about the feds? This is a national story. The President of the United States and other political figures have all been very vocal. And with this current administration's determination to seek the death penalty more, I think it's very likely that the DOJ may bring its own case. Now, we are, of course, all familiar with Luigi Mangione, who stands accused of murder in both New York State Court and in federal court in New York's Southern District. Now, in that case, the feds brought a contemporaneous case against Luigi because New York does not impose the death penalty. But with Charlie Kirk's killer being prosecuted in Utah State Court, where the death penalty is imposed, will that deter the feds? I'm not sure that it will. If prosecutors believe that Charlie Kirk's killer had political motivations, that he intended to intimidate a civilian population, created a grave risk to others, or by this killing intended to influence government policy, you remember all of those federal factors that we talked about so much in Luigi's case? Well, if any of those apply here, the feds may pursue their own case and seek the death penalty. We know that federal law enforcement officials are involved, but we're not really clear on why or to what extent. Maybe they've just been assisting in the manhunt and the capture. Maybe they are actively working on the case generally. And we don't know much about the killer yet, although there has been no shortage of assumptions and accusations and attacks. But I believe that if it can, the state of Utah will seek death. And I also believe that given the current climate, the current administration's position on the death penalty, the social and political implications of this crime and the circumstances of it, a contemporaneous federal prosecution is not out of the question